You know it doesn't get enough love in our fandom? Robots in Disguise 2001, or car robots if you will. Now here on the channel I've looked at the pretty fantastic Optimus Prime of that era. I believe I looked at the Ultra Magnus of that era, and the two of them combined as the Omega Prime. And I looked at the fantastic Megatron. Sometimes he goes by different names. I also looked at the Galvatron, because I actually looked at both of those molds together. But I haven't looked at anybody else from that era. And it's an era, like I said, that I think deserves a little bit of attention. So over the next few days, we're going to look at a couple of those characters. And today we're going to kick things off with this guy. This is Sideburn, or rather Super Sideburn. And he will be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, loud 'em up, baby. And hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that in the description down below. Also in the description. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we offer to you through Teespring. Or of course hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member. And this is Sideburn. This is the red version, which really is just a recolor of the blue version as best as I can tell at this point. The robot modes for Robots in Disguise were weird, really weird. And I'm not super familiar with the line, so I don't know how the articulation will be. I don't know how the transformation will be. We're gonna find out though when we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And so thanks to Maximal 10, we take a look at the super mode, which is just the red version of the Robots in Disguise 2001 or Car Robots Sideburn. I've always found it a little bit ironic that the guy who, you know, had a penchant for that little red sports car and a crush on that little red sports car became a red car himself. Something about the blue version very much reminds me of Tracks. Something about this version very much reminds me of Road Rage. I mean, it is what it is. In terms of the vehicle mode, I love this Autobot symbol up here. I don't know if it was always meant to be there or if it was put on by Maximal 10 after. It feels like it's tampoed on. I love all the detailing. I'm not a chrome guy, but I appreciate the chrome and the cleanliness of it there, as well as on the tires, on the wheels there. Looks beautiful. The wheels are rubber. The guy rolls like an absolute champion. Obviously, I'm not going to do scores until we get him in robot mode because it's sort of unfair to do so. I don't have any instructions, I don't have any box, I don't have any of that fancy stuff. This is all gonna be kind of me just fiddling to figure it out and telling you what I think. Now, from what I've been told, this is the exact same transformation as the blue one, except it's red, right? I mean, it is what it is. So, a couple of things. First, we pick off the back. That's going to be his blaster accessory. So that whole piece comes off, and if you don't like parts forming, I guess you're not gonna like that. As well as this piece, it comes off. And yeah, I mean, if you didn't have it, he could still transform. I mean, the back would be lackluster, but like, he could do it. I don't think you should do it, but he could do it. Okay, so where do we begin then with the rest of this? So we flip that down. I'm gonna just flip that whole piece down for now. And we open out these doors. Oh, I'm saying open out these doors? Yeah, we open out those doors. And I want to say we pick that off and we pick these off on these armatures in here. Just like with all Robots in Disguise Deluxes, we basically rip the car apart. Then we can come here and flip down a leg and come over on this side and flip down a leg. And I think that's the lower body done, if I'm not mistaken. Then we need to deal with the arms and stuff. Oh, he also has this. I guess this is also an accessory, but I don't know if it's a blaster or what it is. I know, people are yelling at the camera saying, it's a this or that thing. Let's just move on. So we next, see if I can remember how this goes. We want to Get this arm out in here. Boy, oh boy, but this is a challenge. Yes, yes. This is a challenge. This arm under here is tabbed in so tight that it's a nuisance. You get the arm off eventually, and yeah, there you go. So there's a little circular peg there that goes to a hole there. Okay, so now I've got the arm up, and I actually got the chest up. I wanted to show it to you proper. So we rotate the arm all the way up, and before we put the chest down in position, we rotate this in so this tire's in here, then the whole chest, assuming you can keep this bumper out of the way, then the whole chest should come down inside, and now the head should come up, and we kind of angle. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Ugh. Yeesh. Okay, then we take this arm on the back and we fold it out. And again, we got to get it kind of out. Now, I do find that to do this arm, you almost want to like turn the waist so that it can come up around. I might need to pick this up. There we go. And then I can put that back. Then we push the shoulder all the way up and we rotate this arm down. Turn here at the like bicep, basically. Straighten out a door on the back, straighten out a door on the back, and we sort of bring these down on the back if you want. You can kind of position them wherever you want. But with a bumper up here and the whole roof of the car on this arm, here we have our boy Sideburn in his robot mode. And here's this RiD weirdo with, I don't know, his accessories in, I guess. For the look of the guy, I'm going to say it's 9.5. If it's not a 10, it's a 9.5. It's super close to his super mode. The transformation is about a 7, 7.5. It is cumbersome and fiddly as far as I'm concerned. Not a huge fan of it. In terms of the articulation, we have a head that can go left, right, looks up, and doesn't really look down. This arm over here, like it can, I assume that this arm can, yeah, it goes forward, it goes back all the way around. We have a bicep swivel, we have super deep elbow, no wrist. Take this piece out of it. No wrist. This moves, I guess. It's like a riot shield, right? Over on this arm, again, if you wanted, you could use that button to launch the missile. We have a bicep swivel, we have a super deep elbow. The tire here doesn't get in the way. This bumper totally gets in the way of the outward mobility of the shoulder. If that wasn't there, the shoulder could go out way further. Maybe there's a way to get it out of the way, but I don't know what it is without instructions. Leg all the way forward, leg all the way back. Hips, honestly, like well out to the side hips. I'm happy with that. A swivel that's below the knee. You can see the mushroom peg is kind of in the shin. We have a super deep knee, which I love. Forward and back on the ankles. Not really a rocker, but like a little ankle rocker, little ankle tilt, but nothing much. It's more like an ankle wiggle. The only real thing, despite all of this junk hanging off of him, and there's a lot of kibble. You want to talk about kibble and not liking it? Man, robots in disguise, right? Really, it's only this shoulder that's slightly limited. Otherwise, it's pretty great. Does he have a waist? He doesn't have a waist, right? Oh my goodness, he has a waist. I'm going to say, honestly, that the transformation, or not the transformation, that the articulation is, I'm going to say it's a 9. We have one issue with one shoulder, and that's it. And the range of motion on everything else is splendid. So, about a 7, 7.5 for the transformation, a 9.5 for his look, which gave us an 8.5. And then the articulation is, again, about an 8, 8.5. This guy overall is about an 8.5, even by modern standards. If you're wondering about size for deluxe, here he is next to Warpath, so he's definitely a deluxe modern Warpath. People have said, you know, do I think that the RiD line should be updated? I don't know. Unless there's a way that you know, can figure out to move that bumper so that he gets more shoulder movement. Otherwise, I think that this is a good indication of what they were capable of. I can't believe Unicron Trilogy followed this line. A lot of the ideas here, I feel like, got carried over into the generations and refined in the years that generations have been going on, what, the last decade or so. So, yeah, I think that this still stands the test of time, and because it's animation accurate, the animation was as wild as this, I don't know if there's a way you could actually update and improve on what's already pretty great to begin with. And here we are, and here he is, and what can I say? Like, it's quite accurate to the animation model for the character. The animation model is kind of bonkers and asymmetrical and all over the place, and so is this guy. Are there things that could be probably improved? Yeah, a few paint apps here and there, but generally this is like undoubtedly pretty quintessentially the character of Sideburn. The transformation is a lot of taking all of the car parts and sort of like exploding them open and then unfurling the legs and the arms with huge car parts hanging off. But wasn't that the way things were for the era? I feel like this sort of engineering and design and thought processes about how to move parts was sort of like a precursor and a forerunner to things like the Generations line in the modern era. And these were like the beginning ideas for that. I also think that this is ahead of its time in terms of what followed it. We had the Unicron Trilogy follow it, and I would venture to say that this was done with more design and more functionality in mind than what we got in Unicron Trilogy. There's a lot of kibble though, and I would say the only thing that compares to it would be the kibble of maybe like Transmetals, Beast Force Transmetals. Like I'm looking at you, Depth Charge and Rampage, you know. The functionality is okay. Yes, a lot of things knock into one another, but you can do more and more poses and more movement than I thought you'd be able to do. I feel like if there was a way to better compress some of the car parts, that could be done better. But as it is, looks the part, interesting transformation, a little harder to get back into vehicle mode, and a fairly functional robot. I'm pretty pleased with this. Is it perfect? No. Could it be improved? I don't know. A lot of people sometimes clamor for updates, but considering the animation is supposed to have all of the huge car chunks hanging off it, could this really be updated and done better? Because as it is, and certainly when we go back about 20 years, this was done really quite well. Let me know what you think about Roadburn. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single day, you right there, you do make a difference. I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way, baby, right here inside the videos.